Hi there guys, so we've just finished our build here at Filey. We're going to do a full walk around with you. Now there's an awful lot to cover, so what we're going to do is break it down into both the house and then the enclosure. So I've got my glamorous assistant here, Mark, who's going to be joining us. Now if you want to basically revisit this, then you can come back at any point to any of the timestamps which are currently on the screen at the moment, because like I said, there's an awful lot to go through. So like I say, we're going to start off with the house first of all. So the first thing which we come to are actually the training boxes. So we've got two of them, one here, and then there's one just behind the door over here as well. Obviously this is currently open at the moment. So the idea is that this can be used as both a training area and also a catch-up area as well. So from the inside, you'll see that once this slide is open, so there's actually this lovely little shelf which then basically takes them through to the other one as well. But the idea is that these slides here would lead through into the other bedroom as well. Obviously there's two out the other ends there at the moment. So this is a nice way for them to get through to the different bedrooms in here. But if this area has been moved, and I'll show you in just a second how this actually works, then there is also another slide up here as well, which obviously allows them to then get through if the ones below are fully closed up. They are made out of HDPE, and we're going to go a little bit more into that in just a second, but let's show you how this works. So if you wanted to use this as basically like a training area, so at the moment the slides are actually out, but if you wanted to use it as a catch box, once you've obviously got the primates used to going in and out of here, you just simply put the slides back in. So this one here basically closes up the actual catch box itself, and then this one here actually closes up the hole leading directly into the bedroom. So that means that when this training box is, if you're needing to remove it at all, then actually there is still no hole left in it. So you can just slide this entire thing out, and then obviously you can put a catching crate up to this if you want to actually sort of take it all the way out. Obviously if there's a primate in it, you're probably going to want to use two people holding it, but we've got some HDPE runners just on the bottom here to make sure that when it goes back in, and it is very, very tight, then it slides in beautifully. And that was beautifully done, and then the locks just go across and stop it being able to come back out. And as I said, there's actually another one of them right here as well, so you can swap them over. They're both working in each hole there.
So we're going to have a look at the bedrooms now. Obviously this is the main show bedroom, so you've got lovely big viewing areas. Obviously there's a lot of condensation in here right now with all the rain, so we need a dehumidifier in here for a few days to dry it out. But yeah, lovely show bedroom that will really kind of give the primates a chance to stay in here in the warmer day, in the colder days. But what we really wanted to make sure was that the two back bedrooms that are not on show to the public are at the same level, so we don't want the kind of sort of skimp on that. So we've literally replicated everything that's in the front room is also in the back room, even down to the mounted pulley systems that we've got on the roof. So for those of you guys that have sort of watched our stuff before, you'll know we don't want any excess rope. So literally, when you want to drop them down, clip that on there and clip that one, and then you've got a nice full length of rope to drop your feeder right down, where you can obviously then either replace it or refill it, and then raise it back up, nice and easy. Snap that back on, snap that off, and then you've got no excess that obviously the primates can get tangled up in. And obviously the other thing that we've got in these rooms, as well as the front room, is lots of little attachment points all over the branching, so that we've got things like these mesh box feeders that are really easy to just snap on and off, get these guys kind of doing a little bit of problem solving for their food. And obviously you could put a whole range of other feeders on there too to keep them nice and busy if at any point they're locked in or they just choose to be inside because the weather outside is storm Eunice.
Because this is the main show bedroom, which obviously the public will be looking in on, we decided not to go with a weld mesh door. So you can see it's solid apart from the one gap there. Thank you very much, Mr. Mark. But that does make it obviously a little bit tricky to see, you know, like the slides in use and things like that. So we've actually offset this wall. So from the keeper point of view, there's actually loads and loads and loads of view there. And also from the, like even with the door, with that little mesh window, it means it's very, very easy to actually have a little look around, find out where they're hiding, all about in here. So the view is still great, but from a public point of view, it just makes it, yeah, a little bit cleaner. So you might notice that our slides are not made out of metal, and we've done that on purpose. So these are actually made out of HDPE. It's basically a very strong plastic, and it means that there's never going to be any kind of warping at all, you know, like the heat or the cold. So these slides move absolutely beautifully, which is lovely. It's perfectly demonstrated here. We obviously do need some WD-40 on the pulley. Now, something which from my own sort of personal experience is that when you have drop slides like this, quite often you end up with an awful load of rubbish which collects sort of down in like the gap where the slide goes into. So what we've actually done here is we've put a gap right in the middle of it. So you can see Mark sort of just showing you there. So it means if you do need to clean it out, rather than trying to sort of pull it out from the top, it all just falls through the bottom onto the shelf, and then you can just give it a good sweep up. So it makes it a lot easier to keep these slides running nice and clearly. Now we have got a couple of different slides just on the outsides here. So this one here is held on with a G-shackle, and it just literally comes off the wall, and this is where they then go up into what we're calling obviously the cube with the tunnel system on the outside out there.
So one of the things we're really proud about this building, we're proud about everything really, but as a sort of a standout idea, the minute we heard that there was these beautiful willow trees growing right behind the building, we absolutely knew that the primates would want to be out here stripping those leaves during the kind of the spring and summer months. So we designed just a simple walkway to start with, and then after a team brainstorming session, that simple walkway got turned into the cube. So the idea here is that obviously rather than just having a one tunnel in and out system, then actually they have got a space to hang out here, and then the design got taken even further by giving it a lovely polycarbonate roof that you probably can't actually see right now. So you're going to have a lot of people kind of wondering if the primates have got free access out there into the trees. But yeah, that is going to be an amazing sunspot in the summer. The sun is going to hit that polycarbonate and heat up absolutely beautifully. So this is actually the main walkway up to the enclosure, and right here is actually going to be a picnic area. So they're going to extend the fence out, obviously just to kind of keep the public away. We've done it nice and high, so you'd have to be working really hard to touch the mesh, and with the fence there, it's going to stop that happening. And then basically people are going to be able to have their nice picnics while they watch the primates browsing on willow all day, every day, as that starts to grow. We also really love the fact that Ian has put this little polycarbonate end on here, and that's actually partly, again, a little sunspot, but also it's a safety feature. So if at any time a primate goes into the tunnel and they can't get them out if they're ill, for example, obviously they've got access from the cube end, but also it means they've got access from this end as well. And we do know from experience of Ian crawling through, if you've been watching any of our vlogs, that it is possible to crawl down those tunnels, so there won't be anywhere that they can't get access to.
Alright, so we're basically just going to take you on a little walk around the outside of this enclosure. So this would obviously be the public viewpoint just here, but obviously we've got the rather steamed up window at the moment where we've got lots of wet things that we've been taking inside there, so that will be beautiful. This also has this lovely little covered area, so people can get underneath here, out of the rain if they wish. And then of course onto these gorgeous viewing areas for the into the main enclosure. Now you'll notice that we've got lots of solid walls around this as well, and this is very much on purpose. We did not want the primates to basically have people being able to look at them from all angles. So there's lots and lots of different areas to sort of view into it, but also lots of nice privacy areas as well. And then of course if people want to, they can always have a little look through the peepholes where we've got some dotted about on the walls around here. This is one of my personal favourite areas. We've all got our favourite parts of this build, which we're kind of all proud of. So this is the awning, which was kind of something which we put on towards the end of the design, and I'm so happy that we actually did it. So it's a beautiful little kind of undercover area, and then obviously people can get down under here if they want to. Lovely, lovely, lovely viewing into the enclosure, and it will obviously be a nice little spot out of the rain as well. And of course, this is a great spot for the guys working here at Filey. If they want to do public talks and things, this is absolutely ideal. We wanted to make sure that this works for actually the animals in here as well. So the awning actually extends right out over into the enclosure, and because of the fact that it sort of goes down at the front, if the animals are sat up there, it is beautiful. Like, it's a complete wind block up there. It's also right in the sunshine as well, so it's such a lovely area. So it works both people and animals, and that's why we've actually put one of the pulley system feeders up there as well, and of course all of these different feeding systems down here. So we've got purposely all of these different types of things in front of the window. So we've got fire hose hammocks. This is one which we definitely wanted in here, and Ed's actually came up with a finished design. He's calling it the barbecue, but obviously it's a feeder where they can basically put food down into it. And basically, when you want to clean it out, it's just a simple case gracefully sliding it out, so you can obviously put different substrates and things in there, take it away, give it a wash out if you want to, and then it just slides back underneath the barbecue system, and basically food can be put in there. We love that. That's awesome. One of the things on this build which we were dead keen to get in, which was based on a brainstorming session with the rest of our team, and this is Mark's little baby, which has been put into production by Ian, and we love it.
We certainly do, but I don't have the key right now, so I can't show you how it works.
Oh, hang on. Here we go, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. I must be the 40th customer to come through the door. So yeah, this is a lovely interactive feeder that was suggested during the brainstorming. It's straight out of the kind of the amazing creations Hal Markowitz was creating back in the 80s as a way to engage people and animals together. So the idea is you can do it however you like. You could do it on the 40th customer, the 50th customer coming through the door, or you could do it as a paid experience. If someone wants to pay a certain amount of money, then they get to come and feed the lemurs. But the whole point of this is this lovely little device. It's kind of camouflaged in the wall. All you've really got is this little keyhole here. And so if it was, say, the 40th customer, you know roughly what sort of time they're coming in, you know roughly what sort of time they're going to get to the enclosure, but it's a randomised feed, and the animals never know exactly what time it's turning up. And all they have to do, slot the key in and twist. Now, I don't know if you heard that thump, but that means that the mechanism on the other side has released. So the food would then fall out, and then you'd have the primates on this side of the glass and come over to the window. They'd be foraging through the mesh, so it's still an enrichment feed for them. It's not a free feed. They're working hard for their food. Some of it's going to drop down here, but whoever's done that feed is going to get the most incredibly rewarding experience, and they've actually got no closer to the primates than anybody else, so it just works beautifully. It can obviously be done for experiences, it can be done for student groups, so many different options, and we're really, really excited that we actually managed to get this in, all thanks to Ian's proto box that he spent a lot of time working on and scratching his head from some scrappy drawings, so that's absolutely awesome. Ian has made this really, really keeper friendly. All you have to do, click that latch, open up the side, and then you can see we've got a little HDPE slider in here, so again, really easy to clean and access. Food goes on here, and all you have to do to actually reset it, push up that way, and then in here, when you haven't got a camera sticking in your arm,
sorry,
you just click the latch and push it up. So then you can load your food on here. There's a little lip to stop it sliding backwards, and then when the key is turned, that latch obviously clips and it drops down, making sure the food slides into the basket.
Another one of my favourite features on this is actually this training wall / public feeding interaction talk wall here. Now it is a little bit of a lump, so normally I would have 2 people on this, but Mark's going to bravely demonstrate it on his own. But this entire panel here actually drops down and reveals mesh behind it. And just on the other side of the mesh, we have these little feeding platforms just here. So for the guys which are obviously working here, they can beautifully do like talks in this area, you know, they can do demonstrations, all sorts of different things, you know. Beautiful demonstration of clickers there, Mark. That was actually very convincing. And the other thing as well is that this entire wall actually doubles as a vehicle access gate. So once this door goes back up, because you wouldn't actually open it with that drop down there, once again you would have 2 people doing this, but brave Mark, well done.
It's possible with one.
It is possible with one, didn't look too bad. And then the whole gate opens up to obviously allow easy access into the enclosure for vehicles. Over that way we do have the vehicle access gate, which we just saw from the other side. So if they're wanting to bring any branches and things in, rope, whatever they might want to do, the platform here is actually unclippable, so you can see the clips at either end, so you can easily move that out the way. So
obviously it's not just the platform, anything that's basically below 2.4 meters in this enclosure within this vehicle run is unclippable, including this branch here. So rather than kind of wasting the space and not allowing the primates for something that's probably going to be quite a rare occurrence to actually have vehicles coming in and out, still a usable space, and it's just a case of unclip, and then you've got a clear run straight through.
And then the actual safety porch, the door going into the shut-off is huge. I mean, if Mark goes and stands in the middle of it, you'll get an idea of actually just how big this door is. So it's very, very easy to bring in and out extra bits and pieces. Ah, that's a nice door, I like it.
We've obviously built an airlock way, so if the keepers are coming in, there's obviously potential to shut the door just in case if they are working through contact with the primates, which may be a possibility. We have got a shut-off area here, which we've deliberately made a decent size, so if at any point an animal has to be isolated or if they're doing any introductions, then whoever's staying in here on a temporary basis has got a reasonable space. This is not finished yet though, because this is the last bit I've got to do this afternoon. So this is not how it's going to walk away and leave it.
Hence the reason why there's still several cords of rope over there.
Again, from this point of view, the keepers have also got views into the bedrooms as well. So for operating slides and things, they've got a clear line of sight. And then obviously the primates will come through these shift tunnels here and out into the enclosure. Again, bring them out at height so they're not coming out kind of floor level, and it's nice and out of the way. And it's just perfectly designed, so you have to be really quite tall to bang your head on it.
The other thing as well is that, yeah, we didn't want to waste any space here, you know, because obviously shut-offs do tend to be a bit smaller in the main enclosure, so actually the primates can get up above the safety porch, so it gives it a lot of extra room up there. So it's actually a really nice size shut-off, in all honesty. Like, once this is all roped out and everything, this will be lovely. The other thing from here is you've got this little wire clip. So obviously we've got a couple of pulley systems inside the house in order to allow the primates to feed up high, but inside this enclosure we've got a further 3 in here and then another 2 inside the shut-off area as well. So everywhere's got the opportunity to get these guys up high. So Mark picks this cable up inside the shut-off. So once again, you just clip it on to the wire which is already in here, and then just lower the feeder down. So obviously it's on a nice little pulley system, which actually works. Not all seized up.
Hangs beautifully for stuffing.
Yeah, I mean, so you can put, like, you know, food in there, primate pellets, browse, anything like that. And then once it's all done, it gets pulled back up, the clip comes down and literally just clips on the wall there, and then you remove the excess, and that just simply stays in the safety porch, nice and safely.
So because of obviously we decided to go with the solid wall to create visual barriers from the primate's point of view, that actually removes it as a usable space if it's not mesh. So we wanted to make sure it was still a usable space. So underneath all the peepholes and then in some extra spaces as well, Sophie and Hayley have created all these little nice platforms that kind of lead up and around, and then obviously leading off from them we've got a whole system of dynamic branching. I don't know if you can see, I'm obviously pulling it at this end, but every single piece of rope and branching that's dynamic is attached. So the whole system is intertwined and it all moves together, including this lovely little wobbly platform in the middle, which I absolutely love in the wind. Has got a permanent vibrate setting. Basically, it literally doesn't stop moving, and you can see again, like once the primates are bouncing on it, it's going to move the whole lot. So it's really going to build up that lovely agility and balance that we really want to see from hopefully very active primates that have got this amazing space to use.
One thing as well with the wall, you know, obviously we put in like this sort of solid wall all around the base, and what we've actually found is it's an amazing acoustic barrier for the primates in here. But also, yeah, because this area is quite close to the coast, it actually can be quite windy at times as well. But when you're inside here, you don't notice any of it at all. So this is lovely in here.
Yes, and to make it even better, we have created this PVC roofed section. So we know that the primates that are going to be coming in here love to enjoy a nice bit of sun. So obviously even on a sort of a day where it's kind of cooler, there's a wind blowing, they can sit up high in here, on branching, on platforms, however they want to do it, and basically enjoy the heat that's going to be created by hitting this polycarbonate roof and sitting in this sheltered area of the building here. Because we don't know what kind of primates are coming in here, obviously we've done some lovely dynamic stuff, but we've actually also done a whole load of fixed stuff as well. So if they come in with a lower agility and balance that we might hope for, then we know that they've got plenty of solid stuff to work from, and they don't have to go straight out onto anything that moves. We also want to make sure, because we've done this at 4 meters high, that the keepers are actually able to use this height as well. So the other thing that we've wanted to create was, obviously some of the shelving is lower down, but we've also got this climbable platform system here as well, which is nice and solid. So if you want to come up, you want it clean. If you want to feed, whatever you want to do, it's a really solid structure. You've got a clear line of sight across the whole enclosure. You can put food up high if you want to, and it just hopefully makes the keeper's life easy. But it also creates a fantastic space, again, for the primates. They can sit on top and sunbathe, or they can sit lower down and shelter from rain or wind. So fully dynamic for both keepers and animals.